Good morning. Welcome to Bright SPED Updates, September 8th, 2020. There's a few new things you're going to notice as you navigate Bright SPED this year. One of those first things is that if your IEP has been archived by Mary and is not open as an IEP that you're currently working on, you will not be able to make changes to the content of that IEP. You will also notice that you cannot switch between IEP years, which is great because that's going to help keep us from putting in any new IEP years. You'll notice that I cannot create a new IEP year when the current IEP is not archived. That means you'll only be able to work in one IEP year at a time. If this was archived, I would have the option to create a new year, and this archived version would not be able to be written over in any way. So that is the first thing to note. In your documentation tab, you'll note that now at the top there is an option to change your IEP year. This keeps you from having a super long list of forms from multiple years. So as you click on this, you can change between the IEP years. If you want to go back and look at an old form, you can select by archived form, yes or no, or see all forms, and then you must click search. And that allows you to see the forms from a previous year, and you can go back and forth. You also have the option to see all forms. The other thing you'll need to notice is if a form is archived, see here archived, yes, it'd be an N for no. If a form is archived, you will not be able to go in and make changes to that form. As you can see, it won't open. I only have the option to download, view, or send by email. If it's been archived, it's a static PDF that cannot be edited. The next information that you need to know is in your IEP dates. If your IEP is archived, you will not be able to add the amendment date here, as your archived IEP cannot be modified. So you will have to contact someone with administrative rights to unlock that part of the IEP for you. And this goes also for services. You may add an amended services line in an archived IEP, but that is the only part you'll be able to do. So if you're archiving something, or if you're amending something other than a service line, you'll need help from someone with administrator access in Bright SPED. Don't forget, if you're doing an amendment, you need to go back and truncate the dates here, and then this starts the beginning of your amendment and ends at the IEP year. As of now, don't do anything with the COVID tab. The next information you should look at is in your PLAF. In your present levels, you'll notice some new things. First, required areas. Any skills not addressed are within adequate limits. This is a statement that says if we have not clicked these boxes as an area of need, then we're considering those to be within adequate limits. The next thing is functional performance. The team has considered the functional performance of the student and determined there were no needs. Only click that box if there are actually no functional needs for this student. If there are needs, and there are for many students, you would address that in your content areas here. Remember that you can use your pull-down bar to select any of these areas. So keep in mind functional performance. This is not a catch-all for every student. Lots of students have functional needs that should be addressed. The next area we're going to look at is the placement tab. You will notice in placements, again, on your placements considered, pick everything that could be considered. In selected, it gives you that list. You'll pick what your team actually selects. And then in selected decisions, you say add new. These are different and new. These are your harmful effects. Harmful effects must be listed on the IEP. You will select from this list the possible harmful effects for your student. Again, not applicable for gifted. If you click on Other, it gives you a dialog box to type in. When you save, the ones you selected are listed in this tab. It would be appropriate to list all of the possible harmful effects for a student. If your student is taking the DLM, up here in Special Considerations, it says, are the state assessments administered for this student at the grade level? Yes, it's going to give you the option. Here we go. Will the child participate in the general state assessment? If you say no, will the child participate in the alternate state assessment? So if you have a yes, that's the DLM. In this box, you need to tell us why the student takes the DLM and why the general education assessment is not appropriate. You must have both pieces. Why the DLM and why the general state assessment is not appropriate. Hopefully, I have made this less confusing instead of more confusing. The last part is in your IEP Builder. You'll notice down here at the bottom, you also have the filter to change from the current IEP year to all IEP years, and this limits the number of forms that you have down here, hopefully lessening the confusion. There are a few items left that I want you to be aware of. Many things from the previous year's IEP will pull over into a new IEP. Some of you are just starting your first new IEP in BrightSped. Do not be surprised if information from the PLAF, if information from participants pulls forward into the new IEP, along with several other things. That's fine. Keep what you want, delete what you don't want. You will not be overriding an old IEP. These are just items BrightSped pulls forward in case you would need that information to make life a little bit easier for you. Hopefully, that's all the changes for now. We'll keep things as less confusing as we can. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to my crazy videos. And if you have any questions or concerns about BrightSped, please let me know.